In the quiet town of Willow Creek, nestled along the winding roads of rural Michigan, lived a man named Jack Thompson. Jack was 42, with calloused hands from years of hard labor and a heart heavy with the weight of responsibility. He was a single dad, raising his 8-year-old daughter, Lily, all on his own. Lily had bright blue eyes, just like her mother's, and a laugh that could light up the darkest room. But times were tough. Jack worked as a mechanic at the local garage, fixing old trucks and cars that barely held together, much like his own life. The sun hung low in the sky that autumn evening, casting long shadows across the empty highway. Jack drove his battered pickup truck home from work. Lily buckled in the seat beside him. She chattered about her day at school, her small voice filling the cab with innocent joy. "Daddy, we learned about leaves changing colors today," she said, holding up a crumpled drawing of red and orange trees. Jack smiled, nodding slowly. "That's real pretty, sweetheart. We'll hang it on the fridge when we get home." The road stretched out straight and lonely, flanked by fields of golden corn swaying gently in the breeze. A light rain had started to fall, tapping softly on the windshield like fingers on a drum. Jack turned on the wipers, their rhythmic swish providing a steady backdrop to the quiet drive. He thought about the bills piling up on the kitchen table, the rent that was late again, the doctor's visit for Lily's asthma that he couldn't afford. Life had been like this since his wife, Sarah, passed away 3 years ago from a sudden illness. No insurance, no savings, just him and Lily, making do. Up ahead, the road curved slightly around a cluster of oak trees. Jack eased off the gas, his eyes scanning the horizon. That's when he heard a screech of tires, followed by a sickening crunch of metal. In the distance, a sleek black sedan had veered off the pavement, slamming into a ditch. Smoke rose from the hood, curling lazily into the damp air. Jack's heart skipped a beat. He pulled over immediately, gravel crunching under his tires. "Stay in the truck, Lily," he said firmly, his voice calm but urgent. "Daddy's gonna check if someone's hurt." He grabbed his flashlight from the glove compartment and stepped out into the rain, which now fell in steady sheets, soaking his flannel shirt. Approaching the wreck, Jack called out, "Hello? Anyone in there? You okay?" The car was tilted at an odd angle, its front end crumpled against the muddy embankment. Through the shattered driver's window, he saw a young woman slumped over the steering wheel, her long brown hair matted with blood from a cut on her forehead. She looked to be in her mid-20s, dressed in a simple blouse and jeans and nothing fancy, just ordinary. Jack tried the door. It was jammed. With a grunt, he wedged his shoulder against it and pulled hard. The metal groaned, then gave way. "Miss, can you hear me?" He reached in, gently touching her shoulder. She stirred, groaning softly, her eyes fluttering open. They were green, wide with confusion and pain. "What happened?" she whispered, her voice weak. "You had an accident. Looks like you hit a slick spot on the road." "I'm Jack. Let me help you out." He carefully unbuckled her seatbelt and supported her as she stepped out, her legs shaky. Rain dripped from the trees overhead, pattering on the leaves like a soft whisper. Jack guided her to the side of the road, away from the smoking car. "Sit here. I'll call for help." He pulled out his old flip phone, a no-fancy smartphone for HEMA, and dialed 911. While waiting, he checked her for injuries. "Your head's bleeding a bit, but it don't look too deep. Any pain elsewhere?" She shook her head slowly, wincing. "Just sore." "Thank you for stopping." The ambulance arrived within minutes, sirens wailing faintly in the distance before growing louder. Paramedics took over, wrapping her in a blanket and checking her vitals. Jack stood back, rain trickling down his face, watching as they loaded her into the vehicle. One of the EMTs turned to him. "You did good, buddy. She might have been in real trouble if you hadn't pulled her out." As they drove away, Jack returned to his truck. Lily peered out the window, her eyes big. "Is the lady okay, Daddy?" "I think so, honey. Let's get home now." He started the engine, the heater blasting warm air that fogged the windows slightly. That night, as he tucked Lily into bed, Jack couldn't shake the image of the young woman. He wondered about her story, but figured he'd never know. Life moved on in Willow Creek, one day at a time. The next morning dawned clear and crisp, the rain having washed the world clean. Jack dropped Lily at school and headed to the garage, where engines roared and tools clanged in a familiar symphony. His boss, Old Mr. Harlan greeted him with a nod. "Heard about that crash last night. You the one who helped?" "Yeah, just did what anyone would," Jack replied modestly, wiping grease from his hands. Days turned into a week. Jack's routine remained unchanged: work, pick up Lily, make dinner from whatever was in the pantry, often beans and rice, with a side of apples from the neighbor's tree. The truck needed new tires, but that would have to wait. Lily's inhaler was running low, too. He lay awake at night, staring at the ceiling, worrying about how to stretch his paycheck. Then, one afternoon, as Jack was under a car changing oil, Mr. Harlan called out, "Jack, phone for you." "Some lady asking about the accident." Puzzled, Jack wiped his hands on a rag and picked up the receiver. "This is Jack." "Hi, Jack, this is Emily." "Emily Hargrove, you saved me from that car crash last week." Her voice was stronger now, warm and grateful. "Oh, hey, how are you feeling?" "Much better, thanks to you. The doctors said I had a concussion, but no broken bones." "I wanted to thank you properly." "Could we meet, maybe at the diner in town?" Jack hesitated, but agreed. "Sure, tomorrow after work?" "Around 5? The diner was a cozy spot with checkered tablecloths and the smell of fresh coffee brewing. Jack arrived in his work clothes, feeling a bit out of place. Emily was already there, sitting in a booth, looking healed and composed. Her green eyes lit up when she saw him. "Jack, please, sit." "I ordered coffee." She smiled, pushing a mug toward him. They talked easily. Emily shared that she was driving through Willow Creek on her way to visit family when the rain caused her to hydroplane. "I don't remember much, but I remember you pulling me out." "You didn't have to stop." "But you did." Jack shrugged. "Anyone would have." "Glad you're okay." As they chatted, Emily asked about his life. Jack opened up a little about Lily, about losing Sarah, about the daily grind. "It's not easy, but we get by," he said, stirring his coffee slowly. Emily listened intently, her expression softening. "Jack, I want to do something for you, to say thank you." He waved it off. "No need." "Really?" But she insisted. "Please, let me help with something." "Anything." The conversation flowed into the evening, the diner's fluorescent lights buzzing softly overhead. Jack felt a rare sense of ease, like a weight lifting just a fraction. Weeks passed. Emily started visiting Willow Creek more often. She met Lily, who took to her immediately, showing off her drawings and sharing stories. Emily brought small gifts, a new backpack for school, groceries that filled the fridge. Jack protested at first, but her kindness was genuine, without strings. One evening, as the sun set in a blaze of orange, Emily asked Jack to meet her at the park. Lily played on the swings nearby, her laughter carrying on the breeze. Emily sat on a bench, looking serious. "Jack, there's something I haven't told you." She paused, the leaves rustling above them. "I'm not just an ordinary person. My family owns Hargrove Industries, a tech company in Chicago. We're wealthy, very wealthy." Jack stared, processing her words. "Millionaire kind of wealthy?" She nodded. "More than that, but I don't flaunt it. I was raised to value people, not money. When you saved me, you didn't know who I was. You just helped because it's who you are." He rubbed his neck, unsure. "Emily, I don't know what to say." "You don't have to say anything, but I want to give you something." "Not cherish a thank you." She handed him an envelope. Inside was a check for $500,000. "This is for you and Lily. To pay off debts, get a better place, maybe start that dream you mentioned of opening your own garage." Jack's hands trembled. "This is too much." "I can't. You can, and you will, because you deserve it. Jack, you've been struggling alone for too long." Tears welled in his eyes, the first in years. He thought of Sarah, of Lily's future. "Thank you," he whispered. The twist settled gently, like snow on a quiet field. Jack's life began to change, but slowly, thoughtfully. He used the money wisely, paid the bills, bought a modest house with a yard for Lily to play in. He quit the garage and opened Thompson Auto Repair, a small shop where he fixed cars with care, hiring locals who needed work. Emily became a friend, visiting often. She shared her world with Amy, trips to the city, holidays together, but she never overshadowed. She blended in, laughing at picnics, helping with homework. One Christmas Eve, snow blanketing Willow Creek in white, Jack stood by the window, watching Lily build a snowman. Emily joined him, her hand slipping into his. "You've given me more than I gave you," she said softly, a reminder of what's real kindness, family. Jack turned to her, his heart full. "And you've given us hope." As the fire crackled in the hearth, casting warm glows across the room, Jack realized life could heal, not with flash or fanfare, but with quiet grace. Lily ran in, cheeks rosy, pulling them outside. Under the stars, they stood together, a poor single dad, a millionaire girl, and a child who bound them. The world felt right, wrapped in the gentle hush of winter. In the end, it wasn't the money that changed everything. It was the connection, the unexpected gift of second chances. Jack Thompson's story became a quiet legend in Willow Creek, a tale of how one act of kindness rippled outward, touching lives in ways no one could foresee. And as the new year dawned, bright and promising, they faced it together, step by slow step,